OneCircuit Mailbag, coming to you live from downtown Tasmania. OneCircuit, where industry standard mumbling is a guarantee. Okay, let's go. Oh, the red box cutter. Okay, might swap back out to the blue if this doesn't work properly. Yeah, see previous videos for why. Here we go. What have we got? Electronics or something else? We have got something else. Yeah, right. So there's a couple of things which I've been hitting AliExpress up for lately, and one of them has been some drone accessories. I think I should go and get the drone and show you. See what I did there? Right, this is a DJI Avata 2, and I've only had it for a month or so, and the weather has been just lousy here in Tassie for a lot of the time. So seriously, it's been out on maybe 5 flights in that time. But I've started to shop online for things like spare blades, and somewhere, maybe even in this mailbag, there'll be like these baffles that go around the side here to protect it, and some other bits and pieces, filters for the front, things like filters for UV to lower the light level available on really bright days. Not that I've seen much of that. Polarizing lenses and so forth. This one here, I think, looks like it's the sort of thing that will go up here and protect the gimbal. So when you go flying, you take this guy off, and there's your camera underneath, and it's pretty vulnerable, really. And although this is an easy thing to fly, I'll put some footage up so you can have a look. So easy to fly, actually. So I guess if I were to do a recommendation, if you haven't been in the drone scene before and you're thinking, I can't operate those things, with your thumbs that they use, this is just a joystick, and it's so intuitive to operate. It's first person, so you put some goggles on, and then you just fly it. It's so easy. So I think what this is I can see here that there's a screw, and I think what you do is somehow, and I'll have to check I can see it there. Yeah. So in fact, this is this side that unscrew it, put this on this side and on the other side, and it offers some measure of protection without interfering with your camera. Sorry about all the noise in the background. That's my dog sniffing around down here for trouble. She basically sniffs for trouble. Anyway, yeah, so I think that's what that is. So I've just got a few accessories to try and protect this a little bit, and that's what that one is about. Switching back to blue, just for me and you. And we have, quite a few little boards. 5? Yep, 5 is a nice number. 5 little boards that do something. Let's open one up and have a look. And it looks like a development board of some sort. For the CH, let's see if I can hone in on that a little bit. For the CH, I'll have to see it through your eyes if I can. Maybe if I get a bit closer, I'll do that. Yeah, CH32V003F development board. So a little module for looking at the little RISC-V chip on here. Let's see if we can get any closer to that as well. Of course, it's upside down. Let's try this way around. Yeah, so we have talked about these before. In fact, I may have already done a video on it. CH, it says 32V. Yep, and then 003. From WCH, I'm pretty sure I've spoken about these before. Very cheap chips. I've got the chips individually, and they do come in different types of configurations. This one has got a lot of pins, and all the pins are broken out. There looks like a little oscillator there, a couple of capacitors, voltage regulator. Yeah, so it looks like an AMS 1117 3.3 volt. So presumably you can put in different voltages, probably 5 volts. There's a V in there down the bottom. And yeah, all the little lovely pins, a lot of them broken out, which is nice. It's sort of reminiscent of the Pro Mini, don't you think? So a little Pro Mini board, but with RISC-V architecture. I'll put up the specs side by side. I'm pretty sure that this one eats the Pro Mini for breakfast. And yeah, really looking forward to getting into doing some development with these little boards. They're very cheap, very good for simple jobs, and maybe even some non-so-simple jobs. Yeah. Right. Slightly charred, but serviceable. Let's get this one open and see what's inside. Ooh. Okay. What is that? Oh, yes. It looks like a little ammeter of the mechanical / analog kind. Isn't that nice? Okay. So if you've been following the recent developments with the Baduk program, looking to find out if the thing's asleep or not, I was looking for something which measured microamps. And so this guy looks like it could be the job. Are you keen to get it fired up? I know I am. Let's do it. Let's get it fired up. And where's that? Let me just grab that. Oh, it's still here. Let me just grab it. Yeah, this is our SuperCap project. Here's the digital meter, which I'm not convinced I had it hooked up properly or that it was calibrated properly. So let's, in fact, that cable's just fallen out. That's not good. I'll just put that one in so it doesn't float away somewhere. This side round, this side round. There we go. Yeah, there's a little calibration screw in here, and it was seemed to be measuring high. I was expecting nanoamps and got microamps. This measures in microamps, and isn't it? It's dainty. What I don't see is a way of calibrating it, maybe, but I don't have any instructions on it, and I probably wouldn't read them anyway. But I am keen to maybe hook up to see if we can get, I'm guessing those two there, to see if we can get some measurements on here. Let's do it. All right, if you're not familiar with the setup, this thing is supposed to be sleeping at the moment, which means, according to the data sheet, we should be getting practically no microamps. Nanoamps maybe, but not microamps. So let's hook this up and see what happens. Oh, yeah, too many. So until I'm convinced that this thing is sleeping properly, and it is actually microamps or even nanoamps, I mean, yeah, maybe there's some leakage around here somewhere. I just don't know what's going on with this. No, that's still a problem. Yeah, so I'm just going to have to keep going back to the drawing board with the code and try and figure out what is going on with this project, which I love doing. I love solving problems. So I'll keep doing that. And I think one of the things that's interesting, actually, and I know this is a mailbag, but I'm in the middle of thinking, so it helps me to talk, I guess. But one of the interesting things about this is that I've got a couple of different PFS 154s which I slot in, and measuring via the digital ammeter here. One of the things that I've noticed is that they're different. Like same code, but a slight but significant difference between the current drawn. So there is maybe some significant differences between the different chips themselves. I wouldn't have expected it, but certainly I won't be measuring any nanoamps or microamps. I love this though, but I won't be measuring it until I get that code right. We'll come back to this. Storage pad for DJI Avata lens, silica protector cover, protector antenna storage holder, drone glasses for DJI Avata 2 color protective cover. I wonder what this is. If you want me to open it, just put your thumbs up now. Oh, okay, that's more than I expected. All right, so we'll do it because it's not electronics. Is it? It sort of is. I don't know. Sometimes these things overlap. What is it? It is a protective cover. Goggles 2, it says. Yeah, all right. So let's have a look at the goggles and see where this might fit in. Isn't it strange that a lot of these things don't come with the original but if I grab the goggles, so the goggles allow you to have fully immersive first-person flight, which is lovely. Here they are. And there has been some interesting things about this. You can see where the lenses are. These aren't the original lenses. I actually went to a firm in the US and said, can you send me my prescription for these lenses? And they did, and it was cheap, so good. There is some adjustment via these little adjusters down here. So you just rotate these around, and there is some adjustment, but my eyes are so weird that I actually got the lenses sent out that are specific for my eyes. And of course, you could also throw the glasses away and put contacts in. So you get contacts in, it's fine as well. But one of the things which worries me when I pick these up is how vulnerable those lenses are. And so this thing is supposed to slot over the top and protect clumsy people like me. Look at that. Beautiful. So that now I can pick them up and handle them without putting thumbprints or whatever over the lens. Again, let me know if you want me to do. I mean, look, you can go onto YouTube and search DJI Avata 2. There are a billion people out there doing reviews on this. But if you just want my thoughts and some footage on this, I'm in love with it. It's great. I want some more time with it. But that accessory is specifically to protect those goggle lenses. Nice one. Right. Is there anything even in here? I mean, wouldn't that be the ultimate joke? Just to send something all the way from China, only to have it reveal itself as nothing in particular. But no, we do have some things in particular, and it looks like little diodes, and it wouldn't surprise me. It's Zener diodes. You can see here, ZM for the North American colleagues, ZM4731A-4.3 volt Zener diodes. So the 4.3 volt ones have been burning through them with my experiments. I do like to fry them because why not? That's what they're there for. And yeah, just some replacement ones. It says 20. Would I have ordered 20? I mean, 200, yes. I don't know. I'll check the order for that one. Maybe I did order 20, thinking it was 200. What's a zero between friends late at night? But that's what they are. Good one. Okie dokie. Don't you think things have been going much better since I swapped back to good old reliable blue guy? Anyway, inside is cable. What is that? Hopefully not more drone stuff, surely. It is Avata. It is more drone stuff. Ay. It says it's Avata 2 stuff. Sorry about this, folks. Look away now. What particular late night purchase for the drone have I done? Oh, these are just propellers. That's all. No biggie. Let's get them out and have a look. So they're usually in pairs. Yeah, so they're in pairs, and gee, they're so light. Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, so just little propellers. The Avata 2 has got it sort of encasing around it, so they are protected, but you never know in a big crash what could happen. And so there's some spare, I don't know what they would have cost, probably not much. I mean, if you get them locally, they're hideously expensive. I got them at AliExpress, obviously, including a little screwdriver and some screws to put them in. That's nice. Yeah, so just to put it on the back burner in case there is a horrible crash. Spare propellers for the Avata 2. Good one. No more drone stuff. No more drone stuff. Make this the last one. If it's electronics, just to please the peeps out there. It is electronics. Look at that. Finally, something that looks like a T. Oh no, wait a minute. 5 legs. What? Could this be could this be voltage regulators? Let's get in close, but there could be some voltage regulators. Yeah, let me just get in right close to that and see what we've got. Alrighty, here they are side by side. We've got the LM2576 HVT 12 volt and the LM2596 also 12 volt. They are not linear regulators. These are switching regulators. So, that means maybe not so much heat sink required. Possibly I got some for the fan project. In fact, I'm pretty sure I did. So just moving down from a 15 volt supply to a 12 volt supply for the fan, which is for the solder fumes. And I think the 2596 and the 2576, I think essentially is about the amount of current going through. I want to say probably one is 3 amp and one is 5 amp. I can't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure that sounds about right anyway. And not too much more to say about them. I've only got 5 of each, and I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. So using because it's just a fan, it's not really needing that stability of the output from a linear regulator. So a switching regulator, a buck converter is fine and way more efficient. That's what they're about. That is the mailbag for the week, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.